So as I mentioned, I will take you through the transport work program for 2015, 2014, sorry, 2015. But before going into the details of the transport work program, I will recall to you the key features of the new framework program Horizon 2020 in general, and explain to you how the transport work program will fit into this global picture. Then we will go area by area and I will explain to you what we expect under each section of the transport work program. And I will conclude my intervention by giving you some more practical aspects in relation to the implementation of this work program, and then time will be left for questions. So what is Horizon 2020? Horizon 2020 is the financial instrument implementing the Innovation Union. It is therefore the successor program to FP7 for research and innovation. It will run from 2014 until 2020 with a budget of about 77 billion over this period of 7 years. It is part, so this framework program is part of the drive to create new jobs and new growth in Europe. This framework program has 3 main goals. The first goal is, and it will be also the leitmotif for the first work program, is the economic crisis and the path to sustainable growth. Horizon 2020 is indeed one of the tools that are considered to make a significant contribution to the effort to go back to the path to a sustainable growth. The second goal is to address the concerns shared by all European citizens, such as climate change, developing sustainable transport and mobility, making renewable energy more affordable, ensuring food safety and security, coping with the challenge of an aging population. The third goal is to strengthen the European Union's position in science, EU's industrial leadership, in innovation. And this includes major investments in key technologies, greater access to capital, and support to SMEs. And we will talk about SMEs more in details a bit later in my intervention. So a few words about this new approach to research and innovation under Horizon 2020. Horizon 2020, we'll see a major simplification. I will introduce major simplification because it will be one single program for all companies, universities, institutes in all EU countries and beyond. It will be an integrated program, or it is, given that the texts have already been adopted. It is an integrated program coupling research to innovation. So Horizon 2020 foresees funding along the entire value chain, from fundamental research through market introduction. So greater attention is given to activities which are closer to the market. The approach followed to draft the various work programs is what we call a challenge-based approach, which means that the work programs are much more strategic than they were in the past. They focus on areas where EU action has greatest impact, with a coherent set of actions from research to innovation, and actions are better targeted across the different parts of Horizon 2020. And to this we have paid a lot of attention within the Commission. We have really worked with all the services to prevent, for instance, overlaps between the various parts of Horizon 2020. And I will illustrate this with the example of transport and energy work programs, in which we have clearly worked so that there is no overlaps but well complementarity between the two work programs. The resulting effect of this challenge-based approach is that the calls are much less prescriptive than they were in the past. They are more open to innovative proposals. there is a stronger emphasis on impact, and we try to stimulate interdisciplinary projects. And a last point on the work programs is that now we speak about 2 years work program. An additional element maybe to mention, which is of importance for transport, is the fact that under Horizon 2020, developing partnerships is seen as key to support growth and competitiveness. So there has been a communication from the Commission in July 2013 in which we explained that we see partnerships as very powerful tools to deliver on these objectives of growth, competitiveness, and job creation. And last point about cross-cutting issues, which are mainstreamed under Horizon 2020, and I would refer in particular to the gender balance issue or international cooperation. As I said a few minutes ago, Horizon 2020 has 3 main objectives, but it has also an additional objective, which is simplification. So this simplification, you will see it at various levels. First at all, there will be a single set of rules adapted for the whole research and innovation cycle, covering all funding programs, all research programs, sorry, and funding bodies. And these set of rules are aligned to the financial regulation and coherent with other new funding programs from the European Union. One project, one funding rate. For research and innovation actions, it will be 100% of the total eligible costs. For innovation action, it will be 70%. And there will be a single flat rate for indirect costs, which is 25% of direct eligible costs. International participation will be facilitated, but there will be a better protection of EU interests. There will be also improved rules on intellectual property rights, a shorter time to grant, because we will be obliged to fall to below 8 months. So given the current time to grant, I presume that in the first stage we will be at 8 months strictly, but the objective and the intention, is indeed to go at least to 8 months and even below if it's possible. We mentioned already the 3 main priorities under Horizon 2020. The one related to social challenges is important because it is under this objective, this part of Horizon 2020, that the transport challenge is located. In terms of funding now, so these are on the table you will see the various societal challenges that I mentioned before. And you can see that the one dedicated to transport, which is called Smart, Green and Integrated Transport, has been allocated a budget of 6.3 billion euro, which is an important increase in comparison with the past. Maybe a word which may be of interest for you. I know that this is a bit internal cuisine of the European Commission, but the transport challenge is managed jointly by DG Move and DG RTD. I will mention when we will go through the work program who is responsible for what, but it's, I think, interesting for you to know that the interlocutor is not one single interlocutor, but we are 2 DGs involved in the process. And I would even add that for ICT-related issues, DG Connect is a close partner. So there is joint management plus the help of and the collaboration of DG Connect on ICT-related issues. Now, I will explain a bit of the context and how we have drafted the transport work program. So, I will go rapidly through the main challenges that the European transport system is currently facing. And we have started from that to understand what kind of challenges the transport challenge, the transport system is facing, to develop what kind of research and innovation action would be needed to tackle these challenges. So we have grouped them into three categories. First at all, the mobility challenge in relation to the mobility needs of citizens, growing congestion, poor accessibility, requirement for higher safety and security. The second type of challenges is related to is more environmental challenges, pollution, noise and greenhouse gas emission. And the third type of challenge is related to competitiveness and industrial leadership for the European transport sector. So the transport industry is an important part of the European economy. It employs around 10 million people and accounts for about 5% of gross domestic product. And if we add the manufacturing of transport vehicles and equipment, the contribution of the transport sector to the GDP is an additional 3% and 8 additional million people employed. Many European companies are world leaders in the transport infrastructure, management, operation and manufacturing of vehicle and equipment. And this leadership position should be maintained and even strengthened further. So in light of these challenges, the response for the transport sector under Horizon 2020 is to achieve a European transport system that is resource efficient, climate and environmentally friendly, safe and seamless for the benefit of all citizens, the economy and the society. Here it's maybe worth mentioning the fact that this objective for the transport challenge is in fact the same as the transport policy objective, which has been laid down in the Transport White Paper, which was adopted now back in 2011. So for the first time, in fact, policy and funding are brought together, so which means that the priorities for funding have been aligned to the priorities defined at the level of the policy for the transport sector. Which is relatively new in comparison what has happened before. And we will I will give you very quickly an example now that I will explain a bit later in more detail. For rail, in the rail sector, for instance, in the past, the research and innovation efforts were very much fragmented. This time under Horizon 2020, we will really pull all the efforts together to try to first to align better to the transport policy objectives and to accelerate the market take-up of innovative solutions. So, as I just said, the support from the EU to research and innovation are linked to the transport policy objectives. So we will focus on key enablers to innovation, growth and policy objectives. We will focus on actions which have strong replication potential and impact at EU level, and also on action that cannot be provided by market forces only. 6.3 billion budget allocated for the transport sector. This budget, from this budget, 50% are earmarked for the large initiatives, so the joint undertakings. You have probably heard already about Clean Sky, so Clean Sky 2. The CESAR joint undertaking, which deals with air traffic management, Shift to Rail joint undertaking, which is a proposal from the Commission adopted in December 2013 and which is now in interinstitutional negotiation, and Fuel Cell and Hydrogen joint undertaking, which is not a joint undertaking from the Transport Challenge, but this is a joint undertaking to which the Transport Challenge gives a contribution, in euro, of course. And the remaining 50% is available for collaborative research, so for calls for proposals. An overview now about the budget allocation for 2014-2015. Maybe before going into the details of the figures, I will explain to you how the calls in relation to transport will be organized or are organized. So the biggest call is a call called Mobility for Growth. So the title is aimed at highlighting that the focus for these 2 years is growth and jobs. The second call is the call Green Vehicles, which is linked to the PPP on green vehicles. And then a third call is a call which is called Smart Business and Fast Track. You have probably heard already about SME instrument in Horizon 2020. I will explain to you a bit later, but we contribute to an instrument which is set up and centrally managed for transport for an amount of, in 2014, 35 million euro, which is not negligible. And then we also contribute to a fourth call, which is the call Smart Cities and Communities and Blue Growth in both years. The call Mobility for Growth now. A few words on the structure. In fact, you can see that the first 4 points are related to the transport means. And then you have an additional 4 which are related, so urban logistics, ITS and infrastructures, to what we see as key integrating factors to the European transport system. And then a 9th part, which is related to socioeconomic research. Coming back to the distribution of work between DG Move and DG RTD, aviation, road and waterborne at the level of transport means is dealt with by DG RTD. Urban logistics, ITS and infrastructure is dealt with by DG Move. And for rail, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, the Commission has just proposed to set up a joint undertakings in the field of rail to coordinate research and innovation. And this joint undertaking will be financed both by DG RTD and DG Move. DG RTD financing the work related to rolling stock, and DG Move financing the rest. The call Green Vehicles is dealt with by DG RTD. And as I said, the SME... Oula. You see that I cannot start dancing. The SME instrument, as I said, is centrally managed by an agency which is called EACI. So we give them the money and it will be managed by them. So it's not managed by DG Move nor by DG RTD. I think that I covered. Yes, maybe a word on the various budgets. So you can see that in 2014, aviation still gets a lot of money, reflecting its key importance for the European economy. You can see also that rail has got quite a lot of money in comparison to the past, 52 million in 2014. There is nothing foreseen in 2015. I will say about that a few words later. This is linked to the creation of this joint undertaking in the rail sector. As regards urban, we have in fact front-loaded quite a lot the budget on urban mobility so that it can support the urban mobility package that has been just adopted by the Commission, I think at the end of December. And the area in relation to infrastructure is worth mentioning because it's the first time that infrastructure is an area per se. It was not in the past, and we decided that it was necessary to give infrastructure more visibility in the work program. So now let's review each of the sections of the work program. So I will go through the Mobility for Growth call and also say a few words about the call Green Vehicles. Yes? Sorry? Yes, sorry, there is a mistake. The calls have been published on the 11th of December 2013, of course, because the calls, sorry about that. You have a very good eye. Because I think that it's nearly a standard presentation that has been presented in quite a number of countries. So I will focus, so we will start with aviation. I will follow the same order, and I will focus more specifically on the actions, the topics related to 2014. So it's not new to you. Aviation is a key sector for the society and the economy, and considerable progress has been achieved over the last decades, providing Europe with a leadership position worldwide. However, this position is nowadays challenged. Second, aviation has an impact on environment and citizens due to emissions, pollution, but noise, and so on and so forth. And in this context, we expect also world air transport to grow in the coming years. So in this context, we think that it's important to act at EU level through research and innovation action. Within the work program, so which is related to actions through calls for proposals, so collaborative research, these actions will in fact complement the aviation research and innovation actions that are conducted in two joint undertakings, Clean Sky joint undertakings and CESAR joint undertakings. So Clean Sky targets primarily the reduction of the impact on the environment through integration and validation of existing technologies up to TRL6. And CESAR joint undertaking develops solutions for seamless, efficient and cost-effective management of air traffic. And it covers from activities from TRL1 up to TRL6. So in the work program, you will find research and innovation actions which are focused which are activities outside the scope of Clean Sky and CESAR joint undertaking, addressing a level of maturity lying between TRL1 and TRL6. It will also target medium to long-term research and innovation actions, and following a bottom-up approach for technologies, as I just said, which are not covered by Clean Sky and CESAR joint undertaking. The research activities foreseen lie in the area of competitiveness, environment, safety and mobility, which correspond to Flight Path 2050 challenges. 72 million euro are allocated to aviation in 2014. As you can see, there are eight topics. The first topic, the first set of topics, so research and innovation action, will be concentrated on competitiveness, seamless mobility and breakthrough innovation. This last topic is intended to make proof of concept and technologies in the TRL 1 to 2, so more fundamental research. In addition, 15 million euro has been allocated for a single coordinated research and innovation action on safety to reduce the risk of accident to less than 1 per 10 million commercial flight departures, mitigate risks due to weather hazards, and overcome fragmentation of existing safety research actions. And then we will have three coordination support action, which have been defined in the area of skills and knowledge, research and innovation policy focusing on new air travel systems for a seamless door-to-door travel, as well as new approaches to certification. And the last one is about international cooperation for a budget of 3 million. And the aim here is to deepen links and identify topics of common interest and mutual benefit with other countries. And this activity will result into a research and innovation activity in 2015. You will see MG 1.8 for a budget of 16 million euro. It must be noted that this part of the work program will be complemented by action which are located outside the transport challenge. I will mention aviation security, for instance, which is dealt with in the challenge called Secure Societies. And then the research on materials and manufacturing techniques is addressed in the part of Horizon 2020, which is called Leadership in Enabling and Industrial Technologies. All these elements, which are transport related but not in the transport challenge, are on the slides a bit later. So they are summarized, so you will have all the information a bit later in the presentation. So this was for aviation. Rail now, as I mentioned, a budget of 52 million in 2014. So in order for rail to grow and to fully realize its market potential, the rail sector needs to drastically improve its service offering and cost efficiency. This means tackling issues such as interoperability, capacity of the rail system, reliability, as well as negative externalities such as noise, vibrations, or emissions. And all this will require more than just technological innovation. New business, organizational and logistic solutions will also need to be developed both through new partnerships within the sector and with other sectors. It is for this reason that the Commission has tabled in December 2013 a proposal for a Council regulation establishing a joint undertaking in the rail sector. So this joint undertaking is known as Shift to Rail, and this new body will be tasked with driving and coordinating research and innovation in the rail sector for the next 7 years. This means that the proposal, which will be submitted under these topics, 2014, will be ultimately integrated into the joint undertaking, which will be set up later this year or early next year. And these actions has been designed as a preparatory actions for a fast and smooth startup of the Shift to Rail joint undertaking. There are 3 topics: intelligent infrastructure, smart rail services, and new generation of rail vehicles. These topics cover all segments of the rail market, from urban and local rail to regional and interregional rail. Under the first topic, we will be looking for projects that enable a step change in the productivity of infrastructure assets through smarter infrastructure, intelligent mobility management, and improved energy efficiency. Under the second topic, we will be looking for solutions that will provide passengers and freight users with seamless and more attractive multimodal travel and excellent logistic services. And under the third topic, this one will address the rolling stocks themselves, looking for improvements in product reliability, cost effectiveness, user-friendly, safety and security, environmental impacts, and ease of manufacture and interoperability. So these 3 topics are open for 2015. Now moving to road. In fact, as I mentioned earlier, we have for road 2 parts. One which is under the call green vehicles, and the other one which is under the call Mobility for Growth. So these two parts are, there are no overlaps between these two parts. These two parts can be seen as complementary. So in this section, so which is in the call Mobility for Growth, it includes activities in the field of internal combustion engines based on conventional fuels. So this is not included into the green vehicle calls. This is in this call, this is in support to air quality policy, safety of road transport, production technology, new vehicle concepts for road and urban transport. Green Vehicles Call will look primarily at breakthrough research that will lead to a steps change in road transport energy use. On the contrary, in this section, topics will also address the necessary incremental improvement in road transport that will support the attainment of short to medium-term EU policy targets. So this covers, amongst others, there are quite a number of topics, as you can see, 5. Advances in conventional internal combustion engines to comply with stricter post-Euro 6 limits under real-world driving conditions, with future legislation on CO2 emissions and air quality, as well as significant less noise. Specific action also for buses. Key innovative solutions should be developed and tested in real operation scenarios with the joint collaboration of industries and authorities operators adopting a system approach. This will entail research and demonstration activities for the vehicle and its interfaces with the transport system. There is also a topic related to safety. So it's true that road safety has been improved in recent years across Europe, but road accidents and their consequences still remain a serious social problem, and especially for vulnerable road users. So there is a need for advanced safety measures involving vehicles, infrastructure and its environment, protective systems, training. There is also a need to develop an in-depth understanding of road accident causations for all road users, covering all aspects of road safety. So this is covered by the 4th topic. And then the last part, the last topic is related to cooperative ITS for safe, congestion-free and sustainable mobility. There, this will focus on the deployment of ITS at a European scale. Additional research is needed to improve and demonstrate the effectiveness and efficiency of integrated smart mobility solutions based on human vehicle infrastructure communication. And we will take also benefit from the European Global Navigation Satellite System, GNSS, within the context of ITS. Green vehicles, as I said, complementary to the parts of the core mobility for growth dedicated to road transport. This section addresses the application of new types of energies to road transport and the improvement of energy efficiency of road vehicles and their powertrain. So this call represents an essential component of road transport research and innovation. It includes research, technological development, innovation and demonstration, as I said, in support of improvement in energy efficiency and the use of new types of non-conventional energies into road transports, such as electricity, CNG, LNG and bio-based fuels. Here again, quite a number of topics, 6 topics for 2014. The scope of activities include both advanced powertrain technologies and new vehicle architecture, weight reduction, improve aerodynamics and rolling resistance, and component development for alternative fuel vehicles. Concerning new forms of energy, the interfaces between the vehicles and the recharging infrastructure will also need to be taken into account, with particular attention to standardization issues. Demonstration activities will play an essential role in ensuring a proper and timely deployment of the new technologies. And in this respect, innovation activities linked with other EU funding mechanisms, such as cohesion and regional funds should be considered here. So this call has been, as I said, drafted taking into account the section on roads from the Mobility for Growth call, but also the call on smart cities and communities, and the call, the joint undertaking, fuel cell and hydrogen. So we have made sure that there is no overlaps between the various parts of what is related to transport within Horizon 2020. I have also here to mention the other links with other parts of the Horizon 2020 work programs. For instance, there is a topic, and that I will read, on post-lithium ion batteries for electric automotive applications in another part of the Horizon 2020, which is called Leadership in Enabling and Industrial Technologies. So at the end of the presentation, you find, as I said, the list of topics in other calls which are related to transport, and this is another example. Waterborne transport. So a modern, safe and secure and resource efficient waterborne transport system encompassing deep sea shipping, coastal shipping around Europe, and the use of inland waterways is an essential requirement for the European economy, which aims at succeeding on the global scale and supporting a truly integrated internal market. Today's challenges for the sustainable development of such a system are defined by the optimal use of energy sources and the minimization of environmental impacts, in particular with regard to pollutants and greenhouse gas emissions. The waterborne sector is still lagging behind in these respects as compared with other modes of transport. And besides that, Europe remains a world's leader in the design, production and operation of waterborne assets, but its industry is facing even fiercer competition. So to stay ahead, the entire value chain needs an accelerated creation and deployment of research and innovation solutions. At the same time, there is a need also to explore new frontiers in terms of vessels, operational paradigm, and industrial use of the ocean. So the topics in relation to waterborne are three in 2014. The first topic aims to support developments that make new and existing vessels used in maritime operations and in inland navigation significantly more efficient and less polluting through solutions addressing four ship subsystems: engines, pollution abatement systems, propulsion, energy sources and management, including the efficient operation of onboard systems. The second topic aims to develop and demonstrate innovative solutions for ship design and waterborne operations in order to avoid and mitigate passenger risks and also to ensure high levels of safety. And then we have a third topic, which is related to inland waterways transport. In fact, the maritime and inland waterways sectors have different dynamics as regards policy development and policy making cycles. The inland waterway transport sector cannot benefit from the same economies of scale as the maritime transport, also because it is dominated by a lot of SMEs. So the global dimension is practically absent, and the sector has stronger regional focus and is more driven than maritime transport by EU legislation. It is also a sector which is more integrated into the internal market. So, I mean, there are also new priorities in terms of policy for inland navigation, including those coming from the NAIADES II action program, which require research and innovation support as a key building block for exploiting synergies and bringing about an integrated waterborne transport. So this is the subject of the fourth topic. So we have reviewed the modal section of the call Mobility for Growth. Let's now turn to what we call the key integrating factors of the transport system. So I will now review urban mobility, logistics, ITS, and infrastructure. Europe cities are home to about 70% of the population and generate over 80% of the Union's GDP. However, mobility in cities is increasingly difficult and inefficient, and this puts a lot of environmental pressure. All this has a cost for the society. So the draft work program will try to address this challenge for urban mobility with 5 complementary challenge topics for a budget of 106.5 million. Unless the first 3 topics, which are foreseen for 2014, we propose to invite proposals from consortia that want to explore new solutions to the 3 main urban mobility challenges from the Transport White Paper. So the use of conventionally fueled vehicles in urban city, the reduction of the negative impact of logistics in urban area, and the third challenge is the congestion in cities. So let's take the first topic. This topic covers 2 main areas of actions. First, it would seek to compare innovative policies, measures and tools to halve the use of conventionally fueled vehicles in cities, for example, by looking at regulatory measures, new mobility services or demand-side measures, or by exploring how to change mobility behavior, including through the use of new media. The second path would be to explore policy frameworks and measures to ensure the uptake of alternatively fueled vehicles in cities. For example, by assessing opportunities for the large-scale deployment of alternative fuel infrastructure in urban areas, or by analyzing the potential for upgrading or regenerating electric public transport systems. The second topic is about freight logistics in cities. This topic would cover 3 main strands of work. The first would be to improve the basic knowledge and understanding of freight distribution and service trips in urban areas. The second is about assessing innovative policies and solutions to ensure better use of infrastructure and vehicles. And the third one would be to assess innovative policies and solutions on urban consolidation and distribution centers. And the third topic is about road congestion. So first, analyzing measures and tools to understand and secure a long-term reduction in urban road congestion. The second is about exploring how a favorable environment can be created for a significant growth of urban public transport at limited extra cost. And the third possibility is to assess how the role of walking and cycling in the urban modal split can be increased. The second the second section of that part of the core mobility for growth is about logistics. There is also a complementarity here with the part of city logistics under urban mobility, so there is no overlaps. Here logistics is seen more at global level. So what is, in our view, the challenge in the logistics sector? So the increasing dependence of the fragmented EU logistics industry on information of quality emerges as, in our view, as one of the greatest challenges the industry is currently facing. Information and collaboration sharing through technology are considered as key enablers to serve customers' requirements. So key to achieve an efficient and sustainable logistics chain is therefore innovation and exploitation of ICT along and across the logistics chain, available to all relevant actors, simple to use, and thus suited to SMEs. So ICT has been identified as being capable of tackling the many challenges facing the transport sector, both within each of the modes and, most importantly, in creating interfaces and integration between the modes. Innovation in logistics is recognized by the sector as being primarily a business-related activity and a task for the industry. However, we see the role of the EU as making in finding ways to integrate the parts, the various parts, to make a unified, flexible, and efficient logistics system, and to connect the key stakeholders between themselves. In 2014, there are two topics. The first one is about fostering synergies alongside the logistics supply chain. Here, research and innovation action should establish and demonstrate mechanisms to foster synergies through, for instance, improved collaboration and concerted actions between all actors, through cooperative ITS and cloud-based services, or concept model for e-commerce logistics execution. The second topic is about distressing the supply chain. Here there are also research and innovation actions which should overcome the stress caused through dealing with the increased length, complexity and vulnerability of the supply chain. It should focus on the technology specifications, business models and governance structure for slow steaming. ITS, which is here again more seen as global, because ITS in relation to modes are included into the various sections dedicated to modes. So there is an ITS part in rail, there is an ITS part in roads. We have seen that cooperative ITS is in the road section. Here we talk about ITS at global level. And here again we see that advanced information and communication technologies play an increasingly role in transforming transport and developing and delivering safe and efficient and sustainable transport options, both for freight and people across Europe. It is expected that the amount of smartness and digitalization in transport will continue increasing at a high pace as a result of exponential growth of connectivity between people and devices. And this will have an important impact on how transport is used, resulting in the gradual emergence of new vehicle concepts and new mobility patterns. Apart from benefiting specific transport modes, ITS solution can bring considerable improvement at the transport system level by boosting synchromodality, which is the optimal combination of transport modes. Some examples of practical application of ITS include, for instance, journey planning tools, real-time travel service information and personalized update, integrated ticketing, and so on and so forth. In this part of the call, we have two topics related to ITS for a budget of 31 million. The intention here is to tap the benefit offered by ICT technologies in the transport domain and bridging the gap between research and large-scale deployment of innovative solutions. The first topic is about research and innovation actions, which should seek to improve and maximize the availability and cross-border, cross-system interoperability of transport data, real-time traffic information exchange, and green driving support systems. And the second topic is about the aim of this second topic is to tackle the fragmentation in ITS deployment in Europe. This should cover, for instance, interoperability and linking of existing services, interoperable navigation and ticketing services, coordinated ITS deployment across Europe, monitoring of ITS development across Europe through a dedicated ITS observatory, and so on and so forth. You will see that there are other parameters in that topic. Now, the part on infrastructure, and this is nearly the last important part of the call mobility for growth. So all of us, we will recognize that efficient and high quality transport infrastructure is fundamental for the mobility of people and goods. Transport infrastructure in Europe is well developed. However, the quality of infrastructure differs a lot between the various parts of Europe. The whole of Europe is now faced with a growing need of making infrastructure more resilient to keep up pace with the growing mobility needs and requirements of people, but also to reduce the impact of infrastructure on the environment in the field, for instance, of air pollution, health, and noise. At the same time, there are budget constraints, so the money which is available to modernize or build infrastructure is probably less than before. So we see as the main challenge for infrastructure to increase the performance of the existing infrastructure, its robustness and efficiency. So to try to maximize the productivity of the assets. So in light of these challenges, the activities are organized around 4 topics, and 2 of them are foreseen in 2014. The first topic would focus on or should seek to reduce drastically traffic disruptions of transport flows, traffic disruptions from inspection, construction, and maintenance activities. So this is about the first topic. The second topic is more about what we call next generation transport infrastructure, to look more at how making transport infrastructure more resource efficient, smarter, and safer. So this includes, for instance, also intelligent traffic management, low carbon construction, and energy harvesting, but also to better integrate the infrastructure into its natural habitat with a reduced intrusion of noise, air pollution, and vibration. And now let's go and review the last part of the call mobility for growth, which is about socioeconomic research. So socioeconomic, behavioral, and forward-looking activities for policy making are of course necessary to tackle effectively the transport-related challenges. The social sciences and humanities dimension is embedded throughout as an essential component of the transport work program across several research sections and topics of this call. This section, this particular section on socioeconomic research, addresses cross-cutting, cross-modal issues, which are intended to complement and underpin the activities covered in other sections of the transport work program. So there are quite a number already foreseen for 2014. Let's mention a few of them. For instance, understanding social drivers and user behavior, enhancing efficient funding of transport infrastructure, strengthening the research and innovation strategies of the European transport industries, and so on and so forth. In addition to, and I don't know if I have a slide about that, no. In addition to these activities, there are also, you will see in the work program, a section which is called Other Actions. And these are, in fact, call for tenders. I think two are mentioned for 2014. One is about developing a public environmental modeling for aviation. And the other one is about setting up a platform for models, data collection, technology watch and scenarios for a better understanding of the transport, the European transport systems. So this is for the call Mobility for Growth and Green Vehicle. Now a word on the call which is called Smart Business and Fast Track. So this section is about SMEs. You might have heard about the SME instrument, which is an instrument which will follow a bottom-up approach. So when you will read this part of the work program, you will see that it's very broad. There is no specific areas in which we would like SMEs to work that are mentioned in the work program, but it's so bottom-up approach. This is to make, let's say, the role of SMEs more visible. And it's true that if we want to really move to a seamless, safe, secure transport system, the role of SMEs is critical to meet the challenges that I have mentioned just before. So the objectives here are twofold. First, to enhance the involvement of weaker players in innovation activities, and secondly, to facilitate the startup and emergence of new high-tech SMEs. I will come back in a few minutes on how this SME instrument will be organized and will work. There is another instrument which is called Fast Track to Innovation, which is mentioned here more as a placeholder and which will be developed when the work program for 2015 will be reviewed. But again, the same spirit, recognizing the key role of SMEs and facilitating their access to funding. And this SME instrument, I mentioned it before, but maybe I will recall it, will be managed by the executive agency EACI. Here are the two slides which shows topics in other parts of the Horizon 2020 work programs which are related to transport. So as you see, we have cross-references in the energy challenge, but also climate and environment, security, blue growth, leadership in enabling and industrial technologies. I mentioned the post-lithium ion batteries, but also you can see in other areas. A few words now on implementation principles. In fact, in terms of implementation, it will be more or less the same as it was before. So, multi-partner transnational consortia to be eligible. So, need of 3 entities from different member states or associated countries. The proposals will be peer-reviewed by independent experts, and the evaluation will be performed on the basis of 3 criteria: excellence, impact, and the quality of implementation. A few words now on the various actions that are foreseen in the Transport Work Programme. I have mentioned already a few of them. So research and innovation actions, which for them the funding rate will be 100%. So this covers activities aiming to establish new knowledge or explore new technologies and solutions, process services. For this purpose, they may include basic and applied research, technology development and integration, testing and validation on a small-scale prototype in a laboratory or simulated environment. Second type of actions, innovation action. for them, the funding is 70%. So this is where we go closer to the market. So discovers activities directly aiming at producing plans and arrangements or designs for new or improved products, processes and services. So for this purpose, they may include prototyping, testing, demonstrating, piloting, product validating, and also market replication. A third type of action is coordination and support actions. And for them, a 100% funding rate is applied. So this is about accompanying measures such as standardization, dissemination, awareness raising and communication, networking, and so on and so forth. I have to mention that you will see when reading the work program, they can be combined. So, for instance, the topics related to infrastructure combine research and innovation action and coordination and support actions. One topic in international cooperation combines for 2 years different type of actions. So most of them are only focused on one single instrument, but not all. I think that one topic in the urban mobility part combines also innovation actions and coordination and support actions. But this topic is not for 2014, it is for 2015. And then we have other type of instruments, which are, except the SME instruments, which are less used in the transport work program than the first three. I will not review them in detail. Let's mention public procurement of innovative solutions, which is used for one topic in the part on infrastructure. The objective of this PPI co-fund action is to enable groups of procurers to share the risks of acting as early adopters of innovative solutions, while opening market opportunities for industry, and here the funding rate is 20%. A word on SME instrument. So the SME instrument is targeted at all types of innovative SMEs, showing a strong ambition to develop, grow, and internationalize. It provides support covering the whole innovation cycle in 3 phases. Each phase is open to new entrants. The first phase is about a feasibility study, verifying the technological as well as economical viability of an innovation idea or a concept with considerable novelty to the industry sector. The phase 2, in this phase, research activities should focus on innovation activities such as demonstration, market replication, testing, prototyping. I forgot to mention that for the concept and feasibility, so phase 1, the reimbursement is made in the form of a lump sum of 50,000 euro. For the second phase, the reimbursement is 70%. In general, and exceptionally 100% if you can demonstrate that there is a strong research component into that. And then the third stage is commercialization. So this stage does not provide for direct funding, but SMEs can benefit from indirect support measures and services, as well as access to the financial facilities under Horizon 2020. So evaluation can be done under single stage or a 2-stage approach. Single stage is like in the past under FP7, and this addresses all coordinated and support actions throughout the transport challenge and the coal green vehicles. We will see in a subsequent slide the dates. 2-stage approach for evaluation is used for the coal mobility for growth, except for the topic which is referred to on the slides. So how does it work? For the first, for a two-stage evaluation, in a first stage, you submit a proposal in 15 pages, and this first proposal, is evaluated against criteria which are defined in the call or in the topic. Then in a second stage, if you, after the evaluation, you are asked to provide, and you have the green light to go ahead, you submit your full proposal, which follows then the evaluation that I have described, so peer review and an evaluation based on the three criteria: excellence, impact, and efficiency of implementation. The deadlines. So, ESA corrected, the call was published on the 11th of December 2013. For the, one second, I don't have to make a mistake. So for the two stages, the evaluation which are done in two stages. The first stage of this two-stage evaluation, the deadline is 18th of March. And the second stage is 28th of August. For the single stage evaluation, so the CSA, the deadline is 27th of March. For the green vehicle, the call on green vehicles, which is also single stage, this is not on the 27th of March, but 28th of August. And SME instrument is an open call, so you have three cutoff dates: 18th of June, 24th of September, and 17th of December, with a time to grant of maximum 8 months. Maybe if you need more information, and I am sure that you have, or you will have plenty of questions, you can surf on the internet, on the website which was created for Horizon 2020. There you will have all the documents which are relevant. But you have also a participant portal which gives a lot of informations and which incorporates also a section on frequently asked questions, which will be, we receive plenty of emails to which we reply, and each reply is published on this website, so that it is enriched by the questions coming from all around Europe. And the replies are standardized, so there is an internal control, so that we do not reply. We do reply in the same way to the same type of questions. Thank you very much. I don't know how long I spoke. I hope.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Bernadette, for a clear and concise presentation of a very extensive material. So maybe we can give an applause. So it's open for questions.
My name is Gustav Malmqvist. I work with different kinds of transport projects, mostly TEN-T and Interreg. You mentioned that this is a collaboration between DG Move and DG Research and DG Connect, but how about the coordination between these and the INEA, which manage the TEN-T? That is one question. I have another short question. Are both the stages subject to peer reviews?
Now? Yes. So I forgot to mention, there are a lot of things to say, so I was too long, but so indeed the implementation of the program is, it has been decided on the 1st of January 2014, will be transferred to the successor to the TEN-T Executive Agency, which is now called Innovation and Networks Executive Agency. Only the CSAs will not be transferred to them. All the rest will indeed be managed by the INEA, with which we have very close contacts. We as DG Move, but also now DG RTD. So we we have started a few months ago to build up, and we will work very closely, because one thing which is key in our view to ensure that we get out of research and innovation projects what we need is to ensure a feedback loop to policy. So we absolutely need to work together. But it's true that in terms of implementation, it will be transferred to INEA in the course of this year, except, as I said, the coordination and support action from mainly from DGRTD, which will remain in-house, so within the Commission. And then peer review, the 2 stages, yes. But for the first stage of the 2-stage approach, it will be remote. So the evaluators can do that from where they live, but they will have to come physically for the 2nd stage evaluation.
Thank you. Any more questions?
Is it an advantage to link, if you're doing a social science project, to link to the other project? I didn't exactly follow you when you said you could link the behavioral research to another project. Maybe I misunderstood that.
Yes, because did I say that? No, I think. Sorry.
Oh, okay. All right. I think I may have misunderstood.
Combined. It's true that, but we still have to, let's say, try to see how to leverage EU funds with the funding from other instruments. And now I refer to your previous question about the Connecting Europe facility, which is another funding program, but if we want to see innovation and to have an innovation cycle which is complete, we have for research and innovation activities the funding coming from Horizon 2020, but we will have to ensure that research results are then deployed, and this deployment can be financed by Connecting Europe facility funding. So that will need to be ensured, and I think that the fact that for transport, given that everything will be implemented within the same executive agency, it will help to see everything in one cycle, within one cycle, I would say. But I don't know if this was linked to your question.
Maybe. I have another
question. I'm sorry, I don't understand.
So we can skip that one. I have another one.
Okay.
Within each topic, can you direct me to someone who can tell me how many awards will be given per each topic? Like,
it will depend on the proposal. In fact, what we give in the work program is an idea of the budget of the proposals, which would give you a rough idea of the number of projects that we will approve under each topic. But as mentioned in the work program, this is only an indication. So we will not refuse proposals with lower budget or higher budget. So this is part of the challenge-based approach. So it's really open to your creative ideas. In comparison with the past, where we were very prescriptive and we did not give a lot of room of maneuver for you to be inventive and creative.
Thank you for your presentation. My name is Pelle Envall. I'm working in the urban mobility field. You started off with saying something about multidisciplinary work and that should be prioritized or that you think that's the way forward. Can you briefly explain how you think you're going to evaluate that in the 3 criteria? What are your thoughts about how that should be evaluated?
Good question. I'm not sure that I have the reply. I would need to think about it.
Or you could ask VINNOVA, because they're working a lot with this, so they might have some ideas how to do it. They're working a lot with the small companies in combination with the universities, for example. So it would be great for me, as coming from a very small company, to know more about that before spending money on putting a bid together.
What I would propose you is you send me an email. I will think about it, discuss that with my colleagues, and we'll be back to you.
Thank you very much.
Because it's an interesting question to which I don't have an immediate reply.
The other option is to talk with Håkan Selin later, because he will present how you can be supported as a SME. Okay, so